Oh boy, here it goes. Oh yeah. Oh, listen to that theme song. That sounds like it's straight out of, well, not a very complicated synthesizer, honestly. Alright, Jeb, Stolen City wins the race. Ben, I know you can do it. I have faith in you. Thanks, Ben. Oh, Ted, I'll do anything to get what I want. Anything. Okay, great, so we're going with Zodiac Killer version. If it's not constitutional, I'm not interested. Fair enough, Rand. John Kasich, hello, my name is John. Alright, so not a lot of personality there. Look at this slick charmer. Let's dispel with this fiction that you and I aren't meant to be together. Jeez, wow. Our school is in serious trouble. We don't have victories anymore. Oh, Donald. Alright guys, welcome to Grand Old Academy. And I'm going to take a second and turn that volume down. Alright, hello and welcome friends to Grand Old Academy. This is a dating sim that is of course based entirely on male candidates who ran for the Republican presidential candidacy of the 2016 election. I don't know why they didn't put Carly Fiorina in here. You know what? Maybe they did. I don't know. I just know the boys they've shown us at the front. But hey, nothing wrong with our main character being a little bi-curious. I would certainly be in favor of that. Alright, new game. Grand Old Academy. The most prestigious private boarding school in the United States. Rich with history and tradition. The alma mater of hundreds of the world's most powerful men and women. How do I just... Oh, okay. The type of school that no student could even dream of enrolling in unless they had incredible amounts of talent, connections, or money. Preferably all three. Well, that's true enough. The grandest, oldest, Grand Old Academy. My new school. That'll be 28 even. Well, what? Alright, well that's a bit on the nose. We play as a girl named America. What? You're fair, you owe me $28. Oh right, sorry. The driver took the bills, looked them over, and stuffed them in his pocket. I picked up my suitcases and took a deep breath. This was it. The crucial moment. The start of... ahem. I glanced over at the driver who was still standing on the curb beside me, looking at me expectantly. My mind began to race. What did he need? Had I done something wrong? Was I forgetting? Oh, a tip. I need to tip you. That's right, America. I think you would know. Well, if you insist. I opened my pocketbook again and began scrambling through it. I was so overwhelmed with embarrassment that it took me 3 tries just to get my money out. My clumsy, numb fingers betraying me. I'm so sorry. I'm actually from Japan, and You're from Japan? Is America a common name in Japan, America? I'm so sorry. I'm from Japan, and we don't tip there. It's considered rude, actually. I just got off the plane this morning. This is my very first time being in the United States, or anywhere outside of Japan for that matter. I wasn't even paying attention to what I was saying. My mouth was just acting on its own, replacing the awkward silence with equally awkward chatter. I frantically tried to pick out a $5 bill, but all the bills looked the same to me. The scowling green faces of men I didn't recognize looked up at me, disapproving, judgmental. If you can't even figure this out, how are you going to survive the academy? They seemed to silently ask me with their stern frowns. At last I found a bill that had a 5 on it. I quickly handed it to the cab driver, glad to be free of the gaze of the angry, bearded man on it. The driver seemed a bit taken aback. Well, thank you very much, miss, and welcome to America. He quickly got into his cab and drove off. I was suddenly struck with a pang of uncertainty. Was that a 5 I just gave him? Or was it a 50? I had the feeling it was going to be a long semester. Oh, gee whiz. Aren't we just a bunch of adorable high schoolers? Chapter 1. Welcome to the party. Megan. Hey, over here. Hey, alright, Megan. I was snapped out of my reverie by a cheerful, high-pitched voice. I turned my head and saw a short blonde girl with perfectly coiffed hair waving at me. Ah, is it Megan Kelly? You must be the new transfer student, right? Oh, yes, how did you know? Well, your luggage was my first clue. Oh, right. The girl giggled and held out her hand. My name's Megan Kelly. I'm going to be your roommate for the rest of this year. Oof, I'm glad you're here, Megan Kelly, because I have a feeling we're going to need your excellent BS calling skills. We're going to have so much fun together this year, I just know it. Jeez, look at that face. She's got the anime sparkles up to 11. Power to her. Megan Kelly has adapted well to her new environment. Megan led me past some imposing brick academic buildings, exceptionally tended lawns, and spacious courtyards. Grand Old Academy certainly was grand. And that building over there. Oh, coming through. Oh, how rude. Who was that? That's Donald, the biggest jerk in the whole Academy. He only transferred in at the beginning of the year, but he already acts like he owns the place. Ugh, what a tool. I noticed that Megan had clenched her free hand into a tight fist. And the worst part is, his act is working. He's one of the most popular kids in the debate club, even though all he does is insult his opponents. Megan's face was flushed, and she was breathing more heavily than was warranted by this stroll across the quad. She obviously harbored strong feelings for Donald. That's kind of open to interpretation. So why did your parents name you America anyway? Did they always expect that you'd end up in this country someday? That's actually just a coincidence. In Japanese, America phonetically means delicate flower. Oh, neat, I guess. There was a moment of silence. I wondered if I should say something to break it. Everybody likes when you ask them about themselves. So, what are you studying here at the Academy? Political science and law. I'm not sure what I want to do after I graduate, but I'll probably be in one of those fields. Megan continued her tour, her energy and enthusiasm showing no sign of waning. That's Keystone Dorm, and there's Independence Hall Academic Building behind it. Over there are Green Mountain Dorm and Granite Dorm. Oh, I see where we're going here. These are all swing states. There sure are a lot of dorms. Yeah, there's 50 of them. 50? We'll be living in Sunshine Dorm, which is the third largest and the furthest south on campus. That's Florida. Well, Aloha Dorm is technically further south, but it's not part of the contiguous 48 dorms, so it barely counts. Okay, that's a little bit on the nose at this point, isn't it? Marco, Jeb, hey guys! Here we go. The shorter student removed his mask, grabbed a bottle of water from the grass, and took a swig. He was, well, in a word, he was gorgeous. He had beautiful brown eyes, delicate lips, and heart-stopping cheekbones. Somehow his hair was perfectly styled, even after being under his fencing mask. His brow was shining with sweat, and in the afternoon sunlight, it almost looked as if he was sparkling. That was a dirty trick, Marco. No, he saw an opportunity and he took it, just like I taught him. As he said this, he took off his mask too. Like Marco, he had brown eyes, but instead of sultriness, this student's eyes exuded warmth. He wasn't exactly handsome, but his face had sort of an awkward charm to it. He reminded me of a puppy. He was sweating a bit more than Marco, but instead of making him sparkle, it just matted his hair to his forehead. You're the best mentor a guy could ask for, Jeb. Oh, that was Marco. And you're the best student. They high-fived. And who's this lovely lady accompanying you, Megan? Wow, look at that toothy sparkle. Geez. Wonder how much you paid for those shiners. I felt blood rushing to my face as soon as I heard Marco call me lovely. And good lord, that smile! The plain wooden door was adorned with a simple dry erase whiteboard with Megan Kelly and Maury America written on it in neat block letters. Megan pulled an eagle-shaped keychain out of her pocket and unlocked the door. As an afterthought, she took one of the other keys off the ring and tossed it to me. Here's your key. Don't lose it. Oh, it's nice. God, I love the elephants everywhere. And a picture of Paul Ryan. Very nice. Just getting his curls in. Gotta respect that. The single exception was a pin-up-style photo taped to the front of one of the wardrobes, depicting a hunky boy lifting weights. I'll say he is. I looked at Megan questioningly, and she blushed. Oh, that's... Once you meet Paul Ryan and see him for yourself, you'll understand. Oh, man. And can we really say she's wrong? Look at that handsome piece of man meat. I just want to gobble him up. As soon as we got back to our room for after dinner, I flopped into bed, ready to fall asleep for the next 15 or 20 hours. But before I could even fully shut my eyes... What are you doing? You can't go to sleep now, America. Tonight's the first debate of the year. I absolutely won't let you miss something this important. Debate? Who's debating what? Oh my gosh, did I seriously forget to tell you about the debate club? You mentioned it a few times, but that's all. Why is it such a big deal? Pretty much every student dreams of being in the club someday. And if you're lucky and talented enough to get in, you're basically Grand Old Academy royalty. Winning the debate tournament is the highest honor you can achieve at Grand Old Academy. If you defeat the champion from our rival school, Dem High, well, you go down in history. Oh, that's nice. I quickly counted the podiums that had been set up for the debaters. 17? Could that be right? How would a debate between 17 people even work? Spoilers, it doesn't. Soon the lights in the auditorium began to dim. Students quickly found seats and hushed each other, all of them focused on the stage. After a few minutes of anticipation, a student walked out onto the stage and greeted the audience. "That's Chris Voss. He got chosen to host this debate. Lucky SOB. I couldn't tell whether Megan had meant that as a comment, as a joke, or not." From Sunshine Dorm, Jeb Bush. I recognized the tall third year with the endearing grin from earlier in the day. He stumbled as he nearly tripped over a cable on his way to his podium, but caught himself in time to avoid catastrophe. From Old Line Dorm, Ben Carson. A student with warm eyes and a calm aura entered and took the podium next to Gems. From Garden Dorm, Chris Christie. A rotund student beamed and waved to the crowd with both hands as he took his spot. Wow, all the things you could have described him as, and you chose rotund. Well, can't say I'm shocked. From Lone Star Dorm, Ted Cruz. He was smiling as he walked into the stage, but the smile looked desperate, plaintive, anguished. Oh, geez, this is brutal. From Golden Dorm, Carly Fiorina. The stretched-out smile that slashed across this student's face seemed to be causing her physical pain rather than the emotional pain of Ted's smile. From Old Dominion Dorm, Jim Gilmore. I had absolutely nothing to say about Jim Gilmore, and I couldn't imagine that anyone else would either. Jeez, this is brutal. From Palmetto Dorm, Lindsey Graham. Not a girl after all. Whoops. From Natural Dorm, Mike Huckabee. This student came across as friendly enough, but he seemed tired, as if he knew in his heart that his best chances of winning had already come and gone. From Pelican Dorm, Bobby Jindal. Was it possible to be too earnest? From the look on this student's face, it seemed so. From Buckeye Dorm, John Kasich. It was almost astounding how little of an impression the student made on me. From Empire Dorm, George Pataki. Somehow this debater made even less of an impression on me than the former one. From Sunshine Dorm, Marco Rubio. As Marco came onto stage, the applause was punctuated by whistles of approval, shrill squeals, and a few cries of, "We love you, Marco!" From Keystone Dorm, Rick Santorum. For some reason, hearing this candidate's last name made me instantly think of something distasteful. Ha, I get it. But otherwise, there was nothing at all special about him. From Empire Dorm, Donald J. Trump. The volume of the crowd instantly kicked up by a few decibels. A few students even stood to applaud Donald as he came onto the stage, nodding in acknowledgement and smirking smugly as if he knew that he deserved this fanfare. And finally, from Badger Dorm, Scott Walker. After the swell of enthusiasm for Donald, the entrance of this gangly student came across as an anticlimax. He took his place at the final podium to the accompaniment of a polite smattering of applause. Ladies and gentlemen of Grand Old Academy, your debaters! One final spurt of applause rose and quickly died as the members of the audience settled in, full of anticipation. And here we